How you doing, guys? I'm Sean.
Hi everybody, I'm Lynn. I hope everyone's having a magnificent day today.
Absolutely fantastic day. Guys, listen, today's video, it's going to be a series of actually 3 videos, and it's going to be dealing with anger, how we deal with anger, what we do, especially with crystals and other things that's in our lives. But this is actually coming as a direct result of a question that was sent to us by a fella on Facebook and a subscriber here on YouTube. Now, he's comfortable enough with his sharing loosely what the story is. Everything's anonymous, but basically it's about, he asks us what crystals can be used to help him with his anger. He's got anger issues that he's dealing with, and he's just wanting to know what crystals can be used. He's new to crystals. He's open for anything, as he said. He's already gone through like counselling and, you know, from a youth, and nothing seems to be ticking the boxes. So therefore he's going to be trying this crystals, and he's asked us what crystals to use, because believe it or not, he actually said he wanted him and his partner to have like a, you know, he wanted to be a, he said probably be like us. In other words, he wanted to achieve that sort of, you know, energy that we have got, and he hoped crystals would do it. So I've sent him a letter, or a message I should say, saying, look, don't look up to us or anybody in life thinking that what they see or what he sees on television or on the computer screen is real. In reality, what you're seeing here now is genuine. This is what we are, but there's so much more to us and other people that you don't get to see. So therefore I shared with him my background dealing with anger and energy, you know, and being violent, being aggressive, drug abuse, alcohol abuse. And we sort of corresponded just briefly, and I said, look, it'd be easier for us to do a video, and that's what this video is going to be on.
It's a video that helps so many people deal with anger, because it's something that everybody has to face every day with dealing with anger issues, isn't it?
Yeah. So we didn't, you know, we work holistically. In other words, we just don't say a crystal will sort out this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way, and it really doesn't work that way. And especially anger is no different from anything else. You have to get down to the root cause of it. Once you spot it, once you know what it is, then you can start addressing it. Then you can start changing your life. And certainly crystals will help, you know what I mean, but it's not going to sort it all out. So this is what this video, so in these 3 videos we're going to be showing you how we would deal and how we would recommend for you to maybe explore on mind, body and spirit. So
it's the whole 3 things, isn't it? The mind, body and spirit. There's not just one thing when it's dealing with anger.
Yeah, so that's what the video is going to be about, guys. So this is a direct communicating with you, brother. And hopefully you'll get something out of this, and everybody else watching, of course.
Absolutely,
So basically anger, you know, in itself, what is it? It's just another emotion. And it's an important emotion, but it should never be suppressed, and it should never be demonized either, because it is an emotion, and it can be used for good, believe it or not, because you can get angry about something and it gets you motivated to change.
You get to do something about something that's wrong, can't it?
Yeah, but when it comes into the anger and the context we're using, and we know it's a broad spectrum of emotions and different types of anger, but basically, you know, if somebody's got an anger issue, probably always aggressively snapping at people, you know, maybe even violent and things like that, you know what I mean, constantly, not necessarily a grumpy person, but just someone who's constantly angry at the world, angry at everybody around them, and creating not only their lives, but society and those close to them who love them. Creating you know, a bad energy and a bad life for them, and
it can ruin so many friendships and so many relationships, 100%. Can't it? As well as ruining their own relationship with themselves, because usually the person dealing with all the anger inside them is going through hell, and they don't know how to expel it other than perhaps violently or aggressively to their partner or their friends or family around them.
Yeah. So this fella here who contacted us, you know, and I have to say, tell him, I know you're watching, you know, fair play, well done, man, because you're making that, you've already gone through a lot of other things, you know, to get this here under control, and that has to be pats in the back, because basically there's too many people suppressing this and trying to brush it under the carpet, and there's also people who think that they can't change their ways, and more importantly, it's not worth changing, they can't get the answers. The answer's there, the answer's within us all, because as I said to you in the message, that I grew up in a very rough, angry environment, violent environment. You know what I mean? I learned how to fight from a very young age. I was surrounded by violence, the best part of my life. And you know, from So I'm coming at this from somebody who can hand on heart say, do you know what, we're all on a journey here, and life can be better. But it starts within. You have to know, you have to go back till where this issue started, because none of us, even a serial killer, was not born an angry person. Something has created that monster.
Something's triggered it, yeah. And anger always usually stems from irritability, frustration, or hurt. Them three things is what stems of anger, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. If you can keep the frustration, because people say I woke up angry this morning. Well, you don't. You can't just become angry at that moment in time. It has to be a series of things that came to you.
Something's caused it.
Maybe like frustrations is the biggest thing, like, because generally you could see something and it could get you angry. Say for example, you're in a job you don't happen to like, and you're in a job you don't like, a boss you don't like, and you walk in, you see that person then has words at you, and you feel within you that it was uncalled for, you didn't deserve it. So that's inside you. So that's now you're getting frustrated about it. You want to say to that person what you really think of them, but obviously you don't want to lose your job, so you don't say nothing to that person. That becomes one frustration. Then you go to your canteen, and the girl or the guy behind the desk who's serving you the food doesn't acknowledge your greeting, and you start getting, that's another frustration. And then that's another. And it
all builds up, doesn't it?
And then before long you're driving home and you hit the tailback, and then next you see is all these frustrations are all starting to build up, and you weren't aware of them, and then you flip. You do like a Michael Douglas falling down one, that you go ballistic, and that's what it's all about. You don't just become angry right away. You're manipulated until you do it yourself. You allow other people's inside your head. Wayne Dyer says that when you hold an orange in your hand and you squeeze an orange, the only thing that comes out of it's orange juice. Apple juice doesn't come out of it. Bananas don't come out of it. You know what I mean? Pineapple juice doesn't come out of it. What's inside an orange is an orange. What comes out of us, even as angry people, is in us. Nobody can put it into us. In other words, the boss can't put anger into you.
No.
The person behind the counter can't put it into you. The guy in the car in front of you can't put that anger into you. It's inside us. Yeah,
a lot of people say, oh, he or she made me angry. But it's not what the person's wrong or right doing that's made that person angry. It's your reaction to it. You're making yourself angry over that person. That person isn't putting the anger into you at all.
100%. No. And that's when you start getting around this here and break it down into the three categories, mind, body and spirit. When you realise that the mind is so easily being manipulated. From we're babies, like as I say, tell you, and I'm speaking addressing my friend who's asked a question, you weren't born an angry person. You weren't born a violent person or an aggressive person. That had to be moulded, that had to be shaped. That had to be shaped by the family you grew up in, the environment you grew up in, the people around you. More importantly, how then you progressed into that. Like I used to do the door, like a doorman, bouncer at 17 years of age, onwards and different things like that. Very angry, very violent person. I remember my first fight at 5 years of age. So I always was a fighter, and I lived to be gentle spirit. And you can see the two different energies.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a place called Solihull, just outside Birmingham, and it's like quite a quiet area, nice town, very safe, nice people, and completely the opposite upbringing to what Sean has, and lovely upbringing and everything like that. But I find as a whole I am a really calm person, but I can get really rattled also, and when I do, because I'm usually like, like this, when I do I can get mad. And at the moment what rattles me is I'm going through, I'm 43 now, and women who are around my age or older would understand what they call the perimenopause, and your hormones can be all over the place, and I find that my moods can be up and down, and I'm generally lovely and bubbly. But sometimes I find I can get really angry over really silly things and something I'm not normally like. And on a hormonal level, your hormones can also have a huge impact, especially for females, on how you feel with your anger issues. Like women with PMS, they'd know about that. And that's so I find that flares up for me also, so I can speak from my own experience as well.
And you can see the frustrations Lynn just said there, because that's going to be like the more things I could spot Lynn and Lynn could spot me right away, and we're lucky enough we're in a relationship, we both love each other, and therefore we're able to watch each other's mannerisms. And Lynn has been my sort of gauge of, if I'm starting to get a bit too snappy or too aggressive or too thinking about something and saying to myself, do you know what's pissing me off here, Lynn? Such and such a thing, I just watch such and such. And I could see Lynn's face sitting smiling and going, okay. And I go, well, do you think I was too rough or like? She said, and she would go like that. Gets me to think then, you see. But I can do the same on Lynn, and especially lately whenever, she's getting more irritable, and I was sitting watching, observing her, and turning around and saying, "Are you okay?" She'd go, "Yep, I'm okay," and I could see, I said, "Well, have I done something like or what?" And she said, No, I'm okay. And I said, "What is it?" Now, if Lynn doesn't spill the beans, and we turn around and say, "Look, what's happening? Tell us what's happening." And we do this on each other, and we share it, and we get it out of our mind, and then we each other help each other to look at the thing, an issue, and we nip it in the butt there and then. Because what happens is, as I said earlier, if it's a frustration, adds another frustration, next you see is you leave a toothpaste lid off, and that there is like World War III, you know what I mean? Hold on a second, what?
Yeah.
So we wanted to say that, guy, don't be looking at us thinking we haven't got issues, we haven't got problems.
We're all human, aren't we?
We're all human. Don't despair. It's all right. You can look at somebody and turn around and say, "But you know what? I like that bit about that person." But never want to be somebody, because you don't know what else is going on in their life. But we could have our arguments, we could have our disagreements, and we can certainly get ragged, and we can sit. But we seem to be able to control it now. And me speaking personally, if I look back over the old me, for the first 40 years of my life, I'm now 47, going on 47. And if I look back at my old life, it's a different person entirely. And it's all down to controlling your mind and letting things go that you can't control and changing things you can. And that's most important. So you're making a difference there. So like for mind, what would you say for mind to be good ones for? Like if you're sitting like music.
Yeah, to help with anger, and this is on the mind level now, I would definitely say music really helps to calm you down. If you're listening to, some people might find that heavy metal music calms them down, so it's wrong for me to say don't listen to heavy metal or heavy rap music, but personally myself, and I used to love heavy metal and rock and all that, but now I love all the tranquil music. I find if I walk into a shop and they're playing heavy music, and it really rattles me. So you might find a lot of people will be listening to heavy music and stuff, and that gets, especially the anger already, it can make them really angry.
It's all about vibration.
Be careful what you listen to, and relaxing music is just the best. Tranquil, relaxing music can really, really calm you down.
Can I say just about the music aspect, and what I would tell you is don't listen to heavy metal. It's not about heavy metal music, but if you've got anger issues, and this is where I would be more, see, Lynn wouldn't want to defend anybody, and I hope I don't defend anybody, but the fact of the matter is this: if you genuinely want to end your anger issues, the last thing you want to do is to listen to the type of music that's going to get such a high vibration. It's going to get you up there. Do you know what I mean? That you're actually looking at in a high vibration. You want to bring yourself down into a relaxing state of consciousness, because if you remain up in that heavy rock, you know what I mean? And somebody happens to mention something, and I'm not saying all.
It's different soft rock music that can be quite relaxing, but heavy, angry music, and some of the lyrics are really angry, aren't they? So, and the other thing, the other thing as well is television and internet. Now, some television programs, me and Sean haven't watched TV for years, have we? We don't even own a TV because it's just garbage as far as we're concerned. Negativity on there. We have the internet, obviously, and we can choose what we want to watch on there to a degree. We can choose. So we like to watch happy, positive things that calm us down. But if you're watching like negative things, and the internet is full of so many horrible negative things on there, the same as the TV, that can instantly get you in an anger. The news, you only have to watch the news and you get so angry watching it, because that's disgusting. How dare they? That's terrible what's happening in that country and and it instantly gets you angry over things you can't really do much about. So I know it's good to probably be aware of what is going on in a degree in the world, so don't be fixated by watching it and
media is out of it.
And the media is also. But anyway, that's another thing again. All part of this.
You have to.
They want us to feel like that, so
100%.
We have to go above it and rise above it and just think.
It's all mind control.
It is.
And so you have to please understand when I'm tell you about not listening to heavy rock music. I'm talking specifically about somebody who has anger issues, and it's the same with the television, because some people can get it. Same as the alcohol, same as drugs and things like that, affects people in different ways. I'm talking specifically for people who've got anger issues. You should listen to high vibration. Lynn said if you're going to be sitting watching television programs, don't be watching any boxing fights. As simple as that. Don't be watching any war movies. Don't be watching any violent, grotesque, like a Goodfellas and things like that, and expecting that you're going to shift your vibration, because it's all about vibration, and it starts within the mind. Because if you don't, and I'm sorry, you're going to keep on repeating that same vibration. I'm speaking specifically here from the heart. I love nothing better than watching, violent films. I had no problem with watching boxing, martial arts and things like that. Done a bit of martial arts myself. I used to be a bouncer, so there was always a bodyguard. There used to be different things I had to do, but I had to cut that loose to become the person I want to be. So cut out the TV, cut out the media that you're watching. It's all mind control. Anything that's going to get your blood pumping in a negative way, I would suggest tell you to cut it loose.
Absolutely. Your environment as well, where you're living in. Now, so many people say that, living next to noisy neighbours, which drives you mad, or you're living in an area you don't like that's dangerous, and that can all affect you, how you're feeling. So is there anything you can do to change that? But say a lot of anger issues, if you know why you're angry, that's half the problem, obviously. But a lot of the time, a lot of people are angry and they don't know why. They just have all this, they're just angry all the time, the slightest thing and they snap. Now, a lot of the time it goes back to a lot of things that's gone on in the childhood that they may have even completely forgotten about, or past abuse, past bullying at school, which is one of the worst things. I was badly bullied myself at school, so I can understand that. And lots of other issues that go on in your childhood that you may have sort of either pushed aside because it's too painful to deal with, even forgotten about, or worse still, haven't forgotten about, and you don't know how to get over that awful thing you've been through, then counselling is one of the best things to deal with it. And remember, if you don't want to go out and get counselling because you think, I don't want people to know what I've been through, it's very personal, I can't really share this with anybody, there is some really good help things online on the internet. There's some forums with other people who've been through horrible things in the past, very painful experiences as children or even as adults, and they can go on, they don't have to reveal their identities, they can just talk on there in forums and expel what they're going through and get a lot of help from each other. So I think if you have friends to talk to, that is one of the best things. A problem solved is halved, I should say, if you can speak to a friend or family member or somebody who you don't know online, completely anonymous, that you can share whatever you've been through that is painful and torturing you in your mind, that you can help towards your anger problems. You probably find you feel so much better afterwards. And there's loads of help online as well on how to deal with it, isn't there?
100%, and it's fixable. And don't let anybody tell you it's not. And it starts with, the decision you've just made was, you want to get this sorted out. You want to become a better person, not just for yourself, but for your girlfriend, your partner that you're with. And that's the start of it. And I think there's nothing stopping you apart from you now. And it can't be fixed, man. It's going to be a long journey ahead, because I know there's times I still get angry. No doubt. We're
all only human, aren't we? And it's a human emotion to get angry. It's when it's taking over and eating away at you, or it's coming in the way of your relationships, your friends and family, or your own relationship with yourself. That's when it has to be dealt with. So it can get you into a lot of trouble, can't it? If you can't control it.
It'll shift, and the more you practice and the more you watch the triggers and be aware of your emotions and these frustrations that's coming up, and releasing them as you're coming. Don't be letting it build up. Don't be letting anything stay in here for too long. You got a problem with somebody, share it with them. It might be quite forward. If I don't particularly like a person, I will let them know. It's as simple as that. I don't have people around me that don't make me feel good about myself, or other people's good about themselves. I learned to cut that type of people. And also the person within me too as well that I don't like. I've cut that person loose. So you can fix this here, guys, and it's there's no question about it.
Absolutely.
So I think that's roughly the main.
I think that's the mind part covered. It's always a bit long-winded, but it's not an easy thing. You can't give a one word. You can't just say, look, here's a crystal for your anger, take it home and hold it. Because unfortunately, it's a whole package. It's a holistic approach to why you're feeling that way. So that's the mind covered, isn't it?
And the next video we're going to be doing now is going to be after this here, another video. Check the links down below, is on the body, and then there's going to be the third one on spirit. And we're just flowing with this. It's not scripted. We're just trying to share it. We're trying to keep it as condensed as possible, but in the same breath, we want to put a message out there that, we can change every single person. I don't care what your past is. I don't care, what your present situation is. Create that visualization in your mind of the person you want to be. Hold that thought. Don't let anybody from the exterior come into your mind, into your environment, into your energy to tell you can't be that person.
Exactly.
And for goodness sake, stop telling yourself that you're this angry, violent person in the future. The future hasn't happened yet. You're creating the future.
Yeah, you create.
You're also creating
yeah.
your present as well. Your past is gone. Forget about it. If I could go back and change my past, I wouldn't change one thing. All the bad in it, all the good in it. Fact is, it made me the person I am today, but only made me a small part of it. Life's experiences. Move on until the future, knowing that you can actually do it. But check out this next video now.
Absolutely. So anyway, that's the end of this video, and then check out our second video down below. The link's down below.
See you shortly.